With the Warriors and Cavs set for Game 1 of the NBA Finals on Thursday night at Oracle Arena, I'm Lawrence Scott, and this Warriors Sound review of Game 7 in Houston starts with a listen-in to Steph and Curry in the post-game after the Warriors claimed a spot in the Finals for a fourth straight year.
This is a special moment. This is we talked about it leaving this building after Game 5. This was a part of our story that we hadn't been through before. Our backs against the wall, not having home court advantage, needing to win 2 games to keep ourselves alive. And this is a true testament to how hard it is to get to the finals, how hard it is to have a chance to play for a championship. And I think as well a testament to how great Houston is as a team, and the fight that they put up this whole series to try to take us out of our game, and to really challenge us all the way down to the fourth quarter of a Game 7. And there's a lot of just built up anxiety, I guess, about this moment. And when you walk off the court with the win and get this fancy hat, it's a good feeling. So we had to work for it, and you got to appreciate the moment. Somebody asked, it's 4 years in a row. Getting to the finals, do you appreciate it? And yes, because it's really hard. And so all the smiles and embraces you have with your teammates, your coaches, is well deserved.
Here's some of what Kevin Durant said in the postgame.
For me, the game is at a mental point in my career where I'm just trying to figure things out there. I know what I can do physically, and I know what I work on, and I try to stick to what I do. But they did such a good job of switching. I know that whole ISO thing was a big thing around our team. We talked about it a lot. And so for me, after the first 2 games, I just felt like I can get a lot in the switches and the mismatches. And I thought they did a great job of, when I get it in the post or when I'm driving, they start to bring guys over and help and shadow a bit. And I wasn't seeing that for a couple games. And I was running in the crowds. I was forcing. I was going too fast on my drives and on my moves, and it had me just thinking too much out there. And when I just decided to just say forget it and just hoop and just play ball, tonight I just try to come out and just play as hard as I can on the defensive side of the ball and let my offense come around, whereas the games before I was thinking about my offense coming into the game. So I just mentally try to, figure myself out, and I'm glad I was able to figure it out in a W instead of going home with a loss.
Finally, here's a listen into the NBA TV crew of Jared Greenberg, Steve Smith, and Mike Fratello as they look ahead to what is a 4th consecutive finals featuring the Warriors and Cavs.
It's been an incredible run for Cleveland to be back in the finals once again. For what they went through this season, there were so many times where that team just could have imploded, and you don't know where it would have wound up at the end of the year. One guy held them together, LeBron James, and a couple of young guys that they brought in after the trade took place. They had to get past that mess in the beginning where they're waiting for Isaiah Thomas to come back. That's when they picked up Dwayne Wade and a couple of the other guys that were involved there. And then Thomas comes back, and then, Thomas just didn't get it, how LeBron plays, how the team plays based on him. And then they do the big deal. 6 guys go out and 4 guys come in, and they had to figure it out once again. But then Kevin Love breaks his hand, and he's out for a long period of time. So they're really not playing with the group that they have to play with down the stretch. And here they are in the NBA Finals again because of one guy, okay, and that's LeBron James. The season that he had was incredible, 15th season in the league, 33 years old. And he plays 48 minutes in Game 7 against Boston so they could win that game.
You think, Coach, as closely as you follow this team, it's almost reminiscent of a couple of years ago when Kevin Love had gotten hurt early in the playoffs and Kyrie Irving got injured in Game 1 with the kneecap, that the Cavs are going to need, it's kind of an obvious statement, a similar type performance. He got up to Game 6 that year, but this Warriors team might be even better than they were back in 2015.
Yeah, this is going to be a really difficult task for the Cavaliers, but the one thing that's different is the Cavs aren't going to play the same style of play that Houston played. It's going to be, they talk about pace and tempo and all that all the time, but what it gets down to is the ball gets back in LeBron's hands, and then they make decisions after he decides. They look things over, they try and get the switch that they want, and then they go at the mismatch, and that's how they play.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, LeBron James, how he can lead this Cleveland Cavaliers team, but I'm looking forward to some other guys. J.R. Smith has had a on and off, as far as a positive play, negative play. But I think J.R. has been here, so see if he can come up with some games, and then you get a chance to see how Tristan Thompson will respond. He's been playing well as far as being able to bang the last couple games. Kevin Love's injury, definitely looking forward to see if he'll get a chance to play. I hope so for his case. But I think this Warrior teams against the Cavaliers, it's going to be very interesting because obviously these two teams are different.
And again, the first two games of this series starting at Oracle Arena, Game 1 on Thursday, then Game 2 on Sunday. I'm Lawrence Scott, and this is Warrior Sound.